Hey guys, welcome to another week of the weekly Instagram Live that I do with amazing henna artists from all over the world who basically share their pearls of wisdom and tell you how to grow your business and how you can get better at your henna craft and just excel and create a career out of it. Today I am super excited. Henna by Maggie is going to be joining us. I feel like I can relate to her on so many levels. She's a graphic designer. I used to be a graphic designer, and her art is just absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait for her to tune in and tell us all about how to run a henna studio. So if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to just pop in your questions in there, and I will be sure that Maggie and I, do every effort possible to answer all your questions. So I'm just going to type in our topic of the day right here and pin it. Let's see. I know this is a little awkward, and I'm sorry. I just got to pin the comment. There we go. All right. So Maggie is joining in right now. Just kidding. Let's see. All right. More and more people are tuning in. That makes me super happy. Hey.
Hello.
How's it going?
I've never done this before. I'm so excited.
Woo!
Yes,
So I'm like
perfect.
popping your Instagram live cherry.
Yes, 100%. I'm excited.
Oh my God, me too. I know we've been like Instagram friends for a while now. I can't believe we're finally actually talking.
Finally, I know. There's so many talented artists in this community, and it's always like so interesting when we can actually connect.
Yeah,
I love it. So much fun.
So true. That's what I really love about Instagram. It's just it's kind of like a gateway in creating this platform and community for like-minded people. So yeah, and I know that you are a graphic designer by trade. I'm like, oh my God, I can relate to that.
Yes, I know. I read that about you. I looked at your website and stuff a while ago though, because your Instagram is perfect, and it's like the theme is great, and everything like flows so well.
I
remember looking it up.
I can say the same for you. I mean, your website and your Instagram is so gorgeous.
Oh my God, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I know that you did the branding for Atlanta Henna Arts as well.
Yeah.
So amazing.
And
so
that Instagram is amazing because I've never like met her in person.
Oh my God.
Instagram.
No way. Wow.
So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is super cool. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your henna journey, just anything you want to share.
Okay, so I am based in Des Moines, Iowa, which is kind of an odd place for henna because right now there is so much snow on the ground and it is freezing outside. But I started henna like 6 years ago. I got it done when I was in Seattle, and I loved it, and I had never even heard of it or seen it, and I was just intrigued. And then I wanted to learn more, and I wanted to have it, but I couldn't find anybody to do it or like anything about it. So I just started doing it. And then I started realizing that there was a community for it, which I think a lot of people outside of henna don't know. There's a lot of us. And we know each other. Yeah.
And I'm like, when there were conferences and workshops and stuff, I'm like, that really exists? Really?
Exactly. And then you tell people, you're like, there's actually like a community for henna artists. They're like, what? Because it seems so odd, but and then I started just getting more into it, and then people wanted to know where I got it, and I started doing markets and meeting other henna artists in like the Midwest, and it just grew, and I didn't plan for it at all. But I'm so happy that it has turned out this way. But I think sometimes when you do something just because you love it, not because you're out to make money, you just like it, it works better.
So true. So true. Absolutely. And people will pick up on that. Like when they feel you're passionate about your craft, they are so actually more likely to come and work with you just because your motives and your agenda isn't out to get their money. It's just because you really enjoy what you're doing.
Like half of the time at my markets, I forget to like charge. Like I'm happy that I have somebody there to like remind me, because I like get on one, like I just keep talking, and I'm like, it was so nice to meet you, and then they're like, I have to pay, and I was like, yes, I forgot. Yes, you do.
Oh my God, so funny.
But I understand it for sure.
Amazing, amazing. Well, there are people who asked a bunch of questions, so I literally wrote everything down, so I'm sure that I'm getting everyone's question. Let's see here. So there's a question right here that asks, how did you start doing henna full time?
Well, when I graduated from college, I kind of thought, like, this is my time, like, now or never. Why wait? And Des Moines in the summertime is incredible. There's a lot of markets and stuff to do like that. And I thought, I'm just going to try and I will do everything anybody asks me to do. Like, I will do a market if it's on a Sunday night at 11 o'clock. I don't care. I'll be there.
Wow.
And I just, word of mouth and doing all of that and just having people that constantly come back to me just made me feel confident. And I just thought, I can always get a job. Like, I can go work if I need to, but now is the time. And then when I started, like, hustling, it just started working out. And people would come back to me, and then they would be like, did you hear about this market? And I'd be like, no, but I'm going to apply. Yeah. And it was just about, like, really searching for places that I could do it at, for people that would, like, give me the chance. And then it just went on like that. But I don't know if I really planned to be full-time. It just happened. And because honestly, my customers are so great. Like, I feel like I have a small part in it, and the people that come see me all the time are the ones that, like, made it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's like, it's so amazing how it kind of all snowballed. But I mean, a very big part of it, or a part of your success in being a henna artist, undeniably goes to, you know, I'm very sure that you're very caring and you provide, like, an actual client experience, and that's why clients come back to you, I'm sure.
Yeah. I feel like all of my clients, we connect so well. So it's just like, I don't know, it's like a community in Des Moines for me, and, like, we all know each other, and if I see them and I'm not doing henna on them, they're still my friend.
Amazing.
You know, and it's like, so I'm very lucky.
That's so good. That makes me so happy. And I love how henna just really connects you to people, and it kind of acts like a therapy, not just for you, for your clients as well.
Yeah, it so does. I always tell people that, because it's like, I mean, henna is intimate. Even if, like, we're doing a henna on a hand, like, you're really close to that person. You're in their space, and they're allowing you to put a little bit of yourself and your art on them for weeks. And, like, how amazing is that?
Yeah, so true. Like, I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it really, really is. And I count my lucky stars every single day that, you know, we're able to do that. We're able to connect with people on a deeper level. It's kind of like we're the bartenders in the artistic world.
100%. Exactly. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my God. All right. So, how did you actually open a studio? Because I know that that's, like, a burning question that a lot of henna artists have. It's like, well, how were you able to get so much clients to the degree that you had to open a studio?
Yeah. Well, when I started, I was doing a lot in, like, coffee shops, and that was great. But I kind of wanted to be able to control, like, my vibe. Yeah. So when they came to see me, they knew what it was going to be. And, like, they knew the music that would be on and all of these things. And I thought, it's just a lease. Yeah. So, I mean, the worst comes to worst, I just do it and then I'm done with it, you know? Okay. And I thought, now is the time. That has always been my thing with henna, is it's like, if I'm going to wait to do it, I probably won't do it. So I just need to do it. And in Des Moines, there's a lot of, like, artist spaces that they make it really accessible for artists to have. That's amazing. Yeah. That's amazing. So the first spot that I was at, it was meant for artists. And I had met the lady, and she was the nicest ever. And we connected over my artwork. And then I thought, this is it. Like, I just need to do it. I just need to not think about it and just do it. And then the consequences will come. Maybe not the best idea, but, and it's been one of the best decisions business-wise that I've made, I think.
No way. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I'm so happy that it panned out for you. Honestly, it warms my heart to see henna artists being able to open their own studios and being able to, you know, really crush it and make this into a full-time thing, because I know how difficult it is. I know how the struggling artist to get clients is like. And I feel like for you to see another artist be able to achieve that, it should give you like some sort of assurance rather than being so threatened by it.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, yeah.
And like, do you know Henna Luna?
Yes, of course.
She's amazing. And I remember she was posting when she opened up a little henna studio when she still was in like Colorado. And it was just beautiful. And like everything in it was so her vibe that I was like, I need that. Like, I need to do that. Yeah. So seeing other henna artists that do it, it really makes you be like, you know what, they did it, I can do it too.
I can do it. Yep, so true. And it also creates a demand as well.
Yeah.
Like, the more artists that there is out there, it means that there's more demand for what it is that you're offering. So rather than being so threatened by the competition and, you know, oh, well, how do I stand out or whatever? So I think that's totally awesome. That's so amazing. So how did you put together your studio? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Oh, hold on. Before you answer that, guys, in case you haven't seen Maggie's studio, you should go to her. I think it's in your Instagram highlights. Am I correct? Yeah. It is so beautiful. I never watch like Insta stories all throughout the video, but for your studio, I'm like so mesmerized. I like literally watch the entire thing more than once.
Oh, that makes me so happy.
Why don't you tell us how you put it together?
I watched this documentary about female entrepreneurs, and one of them said, if you have a space or you have a business or something, it needs to be your vibe. It needs to be 150% your vibe. Like even down to your phone case. If your phone case isn't your vibe, why do you have it? So when I was starting my studio, I was like, this is what it's going to be. And I have a very talented family in terms of like design and being able to build things. Like my dad builds all of my things. My aunts actually reupholstered the couch that I have to like be more of what I wanted. And I feel that it scares a lot of people to open a studio because they think that there's a lot of overhead and a lot of money that you have to like pump into the decorations and all of these things. But like you can do a lot with a little. Like you can go to a thrift store and repaint something if you want, you know? You don't have to do it all at once. And it doesn't all have to be like perfect. Imperfections are the best. Yeah. So a lot of the things that I found were at secondhand stores, like the chairs that I found, the couch I actually got for free from a random person.
Amazing.
Like it's just, you find ways to make it work because I didn't have a huge budget when I started it.
I'm sure nobody really has like a huge budget to open a place.
I just was like, I'm gonna make it work. And like the rugs and everything, they're all from secondhand stores. Yeah. But it all kind of came together with like, I was impressed at how well it came together. But yeah.
Honestly, like if you decide that you're bored with henna, I don't know how that's gonna happen, but if that happens, then you definitely have a career in like interior design.
Right? I'll be like, I am not a henna artist anymore, but I will help you decorate your kitchen.
I would hire you, like in a heartbeat.
Be like, you know what? You can have my couch, my blue couch. Over. Let's put it somewhere. That would be great for your Instagram feed, the blue and the blue.
Yeah.
You have to come to Des Moines.
You know what? I will pay you a visit. I'm actually super serious. I will pay you a visit one time.
I hope you do. Honestly, you are so welcome. We would have the best henna time ever.
Yes. Oh my God. That's so exciting.
Yeah.
All right. I did see a question here. Mickey Boy says, the studio is wonderful, but Maggie as a person is what makes it complete. She is just a beautiful soul and friendly and positive. Aww. So sweet. Looks like you have a fan base right there.
Yes. Hooray.
Yeah. So how do you create like an atmosphere or your environment when a client walks in?
You know, I think that like if you look at my Instagram, I feel that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what you're going to get when you come into my studio. And a lot of people who come into my studio have maybe met me at a market and wanted something a little bit more intimate. So they know my personality a little bit. But I think the most important thing about when people come to me and come into my studio, it's a new space for them. It's not a new space for me. But I want them to feel so comfortable. So I'm like, do you need anything? What kind of music do you like? do you want me to burn incense? Are you comfortable sitting here? I just want them to feel like they're in control of the situation.
Yeah.
So, because it makes a difference when you're comfortable. And like, I've had henna done before myself, and the henna artists have always been like, how does this feel? Like, are you okay sitting in this position for an hour? If you need anything, you just have to let me know. I think that like making them know that like I actually really do care. It's not a facade. I am so happy that you're here, and I'm so excited to do this for you, and we're gonna have like a really great time.
Amazing.
But making them know that I'm excited for them to be there, and I love what I do, and I hope that they can pick up on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I always say that clients or customers, they don't remember you by your service or by your product, but they will remember you by how you made them feel.
Yes.
So I think it's, so I think it's so important for you to like set the right vibe, your vibe, just like you did by incorporating, you know, little artistic pieces here and there, even like through, I don't know, like incense that you like, for example. And that way, you know, when they smell that specific incense at a later time, you're kind of like at the top of their head.
Exactly. Or even if they're like walking in another and they see like a different henna artist, they're like, I remember that one time, like I met that henna artist. Yeah. 100%.
Exactly. So true. I always say like, try to be the best friend that they never had.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a good way to put that.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So here's a common question that a lot of henna artists ask, and it's a little bit outside of the like studio jurisdiction, but what advice do you have for henna artists who are trying to come up with their own style or their own designs? Because I instantly know like a design is yours just because you have such a unique style. So how do you recommend other artists to do the same?
You know, I think with henna and like newer artists, the main thing is that you have to be really patient with yourself.
Yes.
You have to allow yourself the time that you need to figure it out. Like nobody gets good overnight. Like that just doesn't happen.
So
like
true.
Every henna artist is like, that's established that I know is like for the first 3 years, like I was so bad.
Yeah.
And it's good at first, I think, when you're starting out to maybe look at pictures and try to recreate things that you like. And maybe you saw Henna Luna do this moon and you're like, I need to do a moon too. Or Flower Child Henna, the way that she has her own style. Like I still pull inspiration from them.
Yeah.
And it's just, but I think the more you practice and the more you find inspiration, the more you kind of learn what you like and what you don't like. And when you're starting out, and you have to be really nice to yourself, because you can get down really quick about like your line work isn't as nice as somebody else out there, but like you're gonna get there, and so why not get there in your own time? And then it will be exactly what you want, instead of rushing it and being like somebody else. And I just think that henna is so weird because we all kind of do a little bit of the same thing. Like, we're all doing flowers. We all do a little bit of grid work here and there. But we all have a different style. And I think it's just because our path of how we found henna and what we do now with henna is so different. That like I pull inspiration from like this pillow I bought last week. No way. So like you can totally find inspiration anywhere. You just have to let yourself be able to mess up. Because maybe that's really great.
That's an awesome way to put it. Like, give yourself room to mess up. And I feel like, I mean, as much as I love Instagram, there's like a love-hate aspect going on.
For sure.
Because you see all these amazing artists and their work, and then you can't help but constantly compare. But then again, I think people need to stop, forgetting that everyone only posts their best work. They're not going to post. They're not going to post a shitty design that they've done. They'll only post the best things that they've done.
And like, I'm not going to post a video where I had to erase this line 6 times because I either bumped it or I didn't get it right. Like, nobody's going to post that, but it happens.
Yeah, so true. Oh my God. Speaking of videos, okay? I'm totally sidetracking here, but just this weekend, I was doing like a bunch of new content for Instagram and for the website. And one of the things that I really wanted to hone in on is to do those, you know, those amazing videos that you do where, you know, it's just completely close, a close up of the designs that you're doing. And I'm not kidding you. I spent like 2 hours just trying to get a single like 30-second video. I could not do it. I don't know why. It's so hard.
It's horrible. They are so hard.
It is so, how do you do it? I mean, it's so amazing.
Honestly, sometimes I'll have like 3 people there. So I'll have like the person I'm hennaing, and then the person holding the camera, and then me. But if I'm doing it by myself, it is a disaster. And like I will have to like hold my breath.
Yeah.
So I'm like for like 30 seconds because I was like, there is no way.
Yeah.
If I'm breathing, I'm gonna mess it up.
Yeah. Same here. Margriz, I'm sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right, but she's
like one of my favorite artists.
I know. I've been following her for a while. Yeah, her stuff is really good. She says videos are the worst. Yes, you're so right. They are the worst.
The worst.
They are so the worst. But
at least we all agree, honestly. You know what I mean? At least it's not like one person in the corner that's like, I can't do it. And we're all like, no, we can do it. But we all aren't very good at the videos. They suck.
Yeah. But I don't know how you do it. You were like posting like consistently all these wonderful videos. I'm like, holy shit, how does she record that?
I am like in some kind of like acrobatic stuff because it is a mess.
When I visit, that's what you're teaching me.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll have like a session on how to like record yourself doing henna.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So another question here is, it's a little self-explanatory or kind of intuitive, but how important would you say it is to decorate your studio?
I think it's super important. I also don't think that it needs to be like $1,000 painting in the corner. Like maybe we're henna artists. Yeah. Like decorate a piece of wood with a henna design and put it on the wall. If you love it, you should put it up. But I don't think that you can come into like a henna studio and there's just a chair and feel super welcome and warm. Do you know what I mean?
Like, absolutely.
I don't think that, I mean, there's no rules of what you should do and what you should be putting up, but I do think it's important that it has a little bit more, shows a little bit of your personality so that they can kind of pick up on that too. And people love to look at stuff. Like when I walk into a room, I'm like, what is this? What is this? Where did you get that? And I think it's kind of a good way for people to like, to start a conversation of like, where did you get that? And then it's just like, well, and it's all of these things. So it's
I love that. It becomes a conversation starter as well, I'm sure. Yeah.
And
so amazing.
I mean, we can make so many things as henna artists. I feel like we're very resourceful. We'll paint on anything.
Yep, so true. I think we're lucky or we're skilled enough to kind of like put our artistic flair on just about anything.
Oh, 100%. I'm like, hand me that pumpkin, I'll paint it. What? I mean, come on, I'll do it on whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm totally the same way. So how would you say is the best way to sort of, if you're offering products in your studio, like how to showcase it in order to get people sort of interested in it?
I do think the way that you display products is that's going to make people buy it. So, but I really think, and you know this too, being like a graphic designer, I mean, your products that you're selling, they need to have they have to be cute. Like you can't be selling something in like a rundown Target sack. Like I think packaging is really important. And then if your packages are cute, you really can just set them up on a little easel and they'll kind of do its own job. Yeah. But I mean, if you like, okay, for me, all of my packaging stuff is cohesive. It has like a certain color palette and all of these things. And in my studio, I have like 2 really big shelves and I put them on the shelves and maybe I'll buy like a $1 plant at Home Depot and pot it in like a terracotta pot and put it next to it. And that just gives it a little bit of finesse. Or maybe I like these crystals and I'll just put the crystals around it. Yeah. There's so many different ways to display things. But I do think it comes down to what the products look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I completely agree with you. I mean, because obviously we both studied design, and like we know
Yeah.
the importance of packaging and the importance of
Yeah.
having everything like
Yeah.
follow a visual brand.
Yeah.
I also go as far as saying that packaging sometimes is even more important than the product itself.
I can agree. And like it's really interesting too because henna artists, I just think our minds, we're just, and I think honestly just artists in general, our minds are a little bit different because we'll see something and
Yes.
so like okay, Atlanta Henna Arts, she's not a designer, but she's a very creative person.
Yes.
So when we did like her packaging, it was just like it made a big difference for her brand in general because
Absolutely.
now it's her.
Mm-hmm.
And like the pictures are better, they're cuter.
So true.
It shows her as an artist and people believe her because she's so talented. And now her brand and her packaging and her oils and everything, they're her. And then it shows like, you know what, I use this, you should use this too. And especially when like you really stand behind your products and your art, it's just kind of like a win-win for everybody.
I couldn't agree more. I absolutely agree. I mean, honestly, so I actually saw the pictures of Atlanta Henna Arts new packaging, like when she launched it, and I'm like, wow, this looks really beautiful. Like she really upped her game. And then a few months ago, like I was on a call with her, and she mentioned, oh, Maggie from Henna by Maggie did my branding for me. I'm like, oh, no wonder.
Yeah, no, she was like so easy to work with because she knew exactly what she wanted. I just like put it on it, you know. I just used
you
like
just implemented
programs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, so how would you say like how do you stock on your inventory, or how do you make sure that you're always stocked on specific products?
So a lot of the stuff that I have, I make myself. So like my aftercares, and I just make sure that I order like every season I'll order 200 glass jars of my aftercare. And then it's nice because I know what's in it and I just make it in my mom's kitchen. So that's pretty easy because I take a certain amount to every market and then I make sure that I have a certain amount in my studio. So I'll take like 6 to every market and I'll keep like 20 in my studio. And then with my powder, I buy like 4 or 5 kilos at the start of the summer. Yeah, and then I just like measure it out. And I don't take a ton of powder to markets. I'll take like maybe 10 pouches. And then I just make sure that I have a certain number of pouches in my studio and a certain number of pouches in my like market gear kind of stuff. And then the harder thing though that I find is like when I outsource, so like my t-shirts or my tote bags, because you can't just, you make a run of it, but it's not like I ran out of a size large, so now like I need this many. It doesn't really work that way.
Yeah.
So I think with some of that, when you're not doing a very big run of anything, you have to be ready to like run out.
Yeah.
And just deal with it. And then especially when you want to move on to the next thing. It's like at what point are you done with this idea and you're ready to go on to another?
Yeah. So here's a question to sort of leeway on what you were just saying. According to like what you sort of experienced in terms of like selling products, do you like come up with ideas and just run with it, or do you kind of assess, oh, so I'm realizing that this product is selling more, maybe I need to head in this direction?
You know, I think that would be really smart. But I'm not good at that. I am so like, I just get an idea and I just go with it. But I would say, because a lot of the things I do are not, there's not a lot of overhead for it. So there's not a ton of risk in it. But if it was like a bigger risk factor and like more money, then I would maybe assess it more. But I just think like, I haven't done anything that was such like a high monetary value that I felt the need to really think about it.
Yeah.
I just feel like if I think about it too much, I'm not going to do it. So I just need to do it. And then whatever happens, happens.
Absolutely. Well, there's absolutely nothing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I do think it's good to maybe have a budget for yourself. And then, you know, when you are getting close or whatever, you kind of rein in your ideas, but
Yeah.
until you hit that point, ideas are the best thing ever. So it's so
Yeah.
good to do it and just
Yeah.
roll with it.
I completely agree. I'm one of those people that, you know, I won't rest until my idea has been implemented. It's just, I become so fixated and so obsessed, and it's like, I'm not going to let this go until I make this happen.
Oh yeah, I'm the same exact way.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's good to put it out there so I can finally sleep at night.
I'm telling you, 2 peas in the pod right here.
Yeah, for real.
Awesome. So here's another question. For your Henna studio, is it more like appointment based, or are walk-ins welcome, or how do you set your hours up?
So right now I am appointment during the week, and then Saturdays and Sundays walk-ins / appointments. So you're just like
hanging out in the studio every weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's so cold here that it's really not like henna season.
Yeah.
So I feel like in the summer I'm gonna change the hours and do like more walk-ins, maybe Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or like in the evenings or whatever. But I feel like people always, even if they're gonna do a walk-in, they always message me first.
Okay.
I feel like I very rarely. Sometimes I do have people that just randomly come in,
like stumble upon.
Yeah, but I feel like that's more in the summer when people are outside walking around.
Yeah, yeah.
And now people are like, "Hey, are you open? Are you available for a walk-in?" So then I know that they're coming, but I'm there every Saturday. I just hang out and do whatever I want. It's kind of nice to have a space that's your own, and you.
Yeah.
If I want to read a book and wait for people, I'll read a book. If I want to paint on something, I'll paint on something. It's
oh my god, so amazing. So amazing.
Yeah.
No, I find that having your own space, I mean, it really makes a heck of a difference for your productivity, even, and for your own success, because you kind of, you disassociate the energies from, you know, from your home to your own space to wherever it is. And I feel like I have a very big problem with it, because all my appointments are at my home. All of the work that I do are in my home. My partner and I, if we ever fight, we're in my home. So like, these are all, you know, clashing energies.
Yes, no, for sure.
Yeah, but having your own space, I mean, that's absolutely amazing. And I love how you made that happen for yourself. So you gotta like really hand it to yourself and just like be proud of what you did.
But I think you have to hand it to yourself if you're working at home and you're still successful, because it's like working at it's hard.
It is.
You can really just like stop and go do that.
Yeah, there
you're
are
like
so
dirty.
I know there are so many distractions. It's crazy, especially that both my partner and I, we work from home, so it's like there's so much there's so much that's going on. But yeah, no, it does need like a great deal of discipline and commitment for sure.
Like I was not a good working from home person because I would just get so distracted, and I felt like to really be successful I needed a space that I could like go to, and I knew once I was there it was like, I'm here, I gotta get my work done.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, might as well.
I'm here, might as well. Yeah.
Breath of Henna. Hey, Sarah. She says, that's amazing. Having your own studio allows you to create freely. Just inquired yesterday. Love this. Oh, so
that's
amazing.
Exciting. Yeah.
Oh, she asked a question right here. For your studio, did you get a loan for the bank? How are you financing your space? Are you sharing the space with another artist? Awesome question.
Yeah, super good. Okay, so I didn't get a loan from the bank. I have, right now, my leases are 6-month leases. And so it wasn't a lot that I needed to take out a loan, because I wasn't buying a space. And it's not really, it's kind of a shared space, but kind of in a weird way. Like I have my own area and like little storefront, but then in the back there's salon suites, so they have their own rooms. But I have my very own like front studio kind of space, but so nobody uses my space like I use it, if that makes sense. Like they might walk through it to get to theirs, but they're not taking clients in my space.
Got it. Yeah. Absolutely. Awesome. And is it like rent, where you're paying rent every single month? Or?
Yeah. Yep, I
Okay.
paid every month. Yeah. And so it was a 6-month lease just to kind of see if I liked this space, and I super love it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And she also asks, can you explain your 6-month lease period and agreement with the landlord?
So I think too, okay, every landlord is so different. I have
Yeah.
been so lucky to have great landlords, and they're honestly, it's kind of such a weird situation because they're like, you can do whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
And I was the one that was like, is it okay if we do 6 months instead of a year? Just
Mm-hmm.
because I do feel like Henna, sometimes we have different periods of when we're so busy.
Yeah,
And then
it's very
maybe in
seasonal.
October, I have nobody or
Yeah.
whatever. So I just wanted to kind of see how it went before I totally committed. And I think having that conversation with them and just being really honest and like
Mm-hmm.
obviously not aggressive and just, I just want your opinion. Can you tell me if this would work and whatever? I mean, the worst thing they do is say no.
Yeah,
But she
absolutely.
said yes, and I'm so happy. It made such a difference.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Got it. Atlanta, Henna Hearts, it's here. Hey, how's it
Hello.
going? We were just talking about you.
Literally just talking about you for like a whole conversation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
All right. We got another question here. Did you have to renovate your space to accommodate your own needs?
I didn't. I really lucked out in the space that I got. And okay, this is a random fact about my studio. It was actually the very first place in Des Moines that I ever did henna.
Mm-hmm.
Like the very first business that ever asked me to come do henna.
No way.
But now it's changed hands and it's different places and all these things. But I had known that space for a really long time. And it was
Uh-huh.
kind of in the back of my head, like, if I ever could get a space, this would be the space. And so I
Wow.
didn't have to renovate it at all. Like, it's got a really cool brick wall from the original building. And just, it was exactly what I wanted. And it was kind of like manifestation in a way where I was
Uh-huh.
like, this is going to happen someday. I'm going to make it happen. And it
Yeah.
happened.
Amazing. So amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm like super amped to actually fly out on the next plane and just come and see your
Yes.
studio.
Yes. We'll do
It
all
is.
sorts of henna things. I have so
Yeah,
many people that would
absolutely.
love to get henna from you. So
Oh.
yeah.
It's legit crazy here as well. We have a snowstorm and it's like we're gonna be getting like 20 centimeters of snow. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So we're getting another question. Amazing. This makes a huge difference when someone approaches you as opposed to looking yourself. Was this a beauty salon that allowed you to come in and do your own work?
So okay. The first time that I did henna there, like back in the day, it wasn't a beauty salon. But then now in the summer, I actually met the owner of this salon. It's kind of a salon, but it's not really. She's trying to decide on a new name to call it because salon doesn't really
Yeah.
match it anymore. But I actually hennaed her and I told her that I wanted more of a space that I could like have walk-ins that
Mm-hmm.
people could just come off the street if they wanted instead of having to like walk up flights of stairs and find me and like think that my door was locked and all of these things.
Yeah.
So, and then after I told her that, it just like kind of happened. She was like, I have this idea. I think you would be great for it. But what's nice too is that since I'm in a lease agreement and I'm not like I get to do whatever I want. Like that's
Yeah.
my free space. So if
Yeah.
I wanted to do a henna event on Friday night, like that's my space and I can do it. And she
Mm-hmm.
really gives me freedom to do that,
Mm-hmm.
which is so great.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
amazing. No, it seems
yeah,
like you got paired with like a pretty flexible landlord, which is awesome.
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
that's
think
really
it's
good.
important too for people who want to get a studio to like talk about what you're expecting out of it and like not being scared to ask questions. I feel
Yeah.
like when we get into like leases or any kind of thing like that, there might be like some fine line that you don't understand or you maybe don't really like that rule. Like
Yeah.
there is no harm in asking, is there any way that we could find a way to compromise?
Yeah.
Or
Absolutely.
like maybe you don't want a year. Can I do 6 months? And you ask and I mean there's nothing that can go wrong from that.
Yeah, that's so true. And
You know?
I was always one of those people that, I always tend to be shy and I just want to be polite and not annoy anyone.
Yeah.
But then if you don't ask the question, then the answer is always going to be no. Right?
Always.
As opposed to
Yeah.
if you ask, then you might get your way.
Yeah.
So
And
like
if
those
you ask
chances,
and you don't get your way, you're just like, well, thank you
at
for your
least you ask.
time.
Yeah.
At least you ask. You don't have to be rude, and you're just like, thank you for at least listening to me.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So what is a tactic that you do in order to sort of market your studio and get people sort of in the door?
You know, word of mouth is the strongest marketing tool
Okay.
ever.
Okay.
Which, because for a really long time, and even now, I don't like pay for marketing or like advertising and none of that. I just feel like I make it a point that I put my studio on Instagram.
Okay. So
And
you feel like people are finding you through Instagram?
yeah, and like finding the right hashtags and
Yeah.
like really making sure to like hashtag your city, and then people see this cute space and maybe they don't know what henna is, but they want to come and see what it's about. And so I think like giving a good experience to people, doing work that you're proud of every time, and then they go out on like to the mall, maybe 10 people ask them, where did you get that done? That's so pretty. Or they're like, you know what, I just had the coolest experience at this little henna studio downtown. And that is, I think, the momentum that henna artists need.
Yeah,
because
so true.
I mean, I'm not going to put an ad in the Des Moines Register because I don't know if that's necessarily like my like clientele.
Yeah, no,
but I
that's
know
so
the people
true.
that come and get it, and then they have friends, and that is my clientele. So
yeah, but I also feel like you gotta evaluate if you're gonna put money down. How are you gonna make
100%.
that? Yeah, how are you gonna make that money back, or even to make a profit out of the money that you put down?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna put money down on, what did you say, the register? Like
there's
Des
like
Moines?
a Des Moines, it's just the newspaper here. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you put your money down on that, like there's got to be a strategy and understanding like how you're going to make that money back.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, because like a far too common mistake that I see with henna artists is like I get these DMs almost on a daily basis. Oh, so if I put money down on Instagram ads, will I be getting followers? And it's like, you're totally missing the point. You're not putting money down to get followers. You're putting money down in order to have bigger reach, in order to get clients, to make that money back, if not even profit higher, more than what you put down. And yeah, I think like also completely sidetracking, I feel like people are way too obsessed with followers. I want followers. I need followers. Like that the followers, like the followers are the answers to everything. And it's like, no, I mean, you can still be having an insane amount of followers and you still are not getting any business. And the opposite is true.
Yeah, I think, and that's kind of like the crutch of Instagram is people want followers and we feel like, okay, so they have more followers, that means they're better than me. And that is the furthest thing from the truth.
Yep.
Like
absolutely.
your amount of followers says nothing about your artwork.
I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Yeah.
Honestly, like, did you post it? Did they repost it? And then but I don't, like, I look at, before I got a bigger following, like, I still really loved my henna. And I loved the work I was putting out. And maybe 30 people saw it. And it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're proud of what you're doing, I don't think the amount of people who follow you should matter.
Yep, so true. And if you're doing it for the followers, then you're probably in the business for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a popularity contest. It's about income. It's about, making a living for yourself. And even if you're not looking at, pursuing henna as a career, then it should be just a hobby. It should be something that you're happy about or passionate about.
And putting pressure on yourself for other people's actions is a really slippery slope. Like, you can't control how they feel about your work. You can only control how you approach your work.
So true.
So, like, the people who are following you and like your things and comment on your things, like, how lucky are we that we have people that see it? Even if it's 3 people, that's 3 people. That if they were in a room with you, that is a lot of people.
Yeah. Yep. So true.
It's just because it's virtual, we have this disconnect of feeling like I need 30,000 people, and that's not real.
Yep, so true. I couldn't agree more. Even if it's just like you said, even if you had one person that's one person you influenced, and I
Yeah,
think that's
like
amazing.
and like we've all been that one person somewhere, you know, like
Yeah.
we all have artists that we love that maybe don't have a ton of followers and we love their work and like their work influences me a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
And who are those like who would you say was a very big inspiration or influence in your own art?
well, okay, before I started doing henna and like meeting people, I really didn't know like where to look. But once I got into the community and the wealth of information that people gave me, but Flower Child Henna, Cora, I don't know if you've
Uh-huh.
ever talked to Cora,
No,
is
I haven't.
okay, she's the coolest person. Like in person and online, she just is. I can't even put into words how amazing she is. She is the sweetest soul ever. And she
Uh-huh.
is always there if you have any questions, if you need any help with anything. She will like drop what she's doing and be like, listen, this is what you need to do. And like, keep your head up. It's
Amazing.
okay. Like, everything's going to get better. And I mean, but I look at everybody's work and I am always so amazed.
Yeah.
Like the fact that we take that little henna cone and that's what comes out of it.
Yeah.
Like, how amazing.
Absolutely. I couldn't
But I would
agree
say
more.
Cora is the one that made me stay like the most positive
Okay, got
about
it.
my work and the process.
And what were those like positive affirmations for you?
You know, like maybe I would do a design and we've worked together in the past. And so I would do a design that I wasn't crazy about or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would be like, man, they have that on them. And she'd be like, listen, do you know how good that was?
Yeah.
Like they loved it. Did you see their face? That's what matters. Or maybe I would have problems with like somebody on Instagram or something. And she would be like, listen, you just have to remember that it only matters what you do. You can't control other people. She's just a very good voice of reason. And
Amazing.
I honestly think for anybody, any henna artist, if they want to like see what it's like to be a henna artist and all of these things, like she's a really good person to look for
Mm-hmm.
because she's incredible. She's such a good person.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Blurberry Buzz also agrees and says Cora is always the voice of
She's
positivity.
so it. And she's fun.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. I think we have
Gloria
time
too,
for
though.
like,
She's incredible.
sorry?
Blurberry, but she's great. She's also
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've been following her for such a long
like
time
over
as well.
yeah. She's incredible.
So amazing. All right. So we do have time, I think, for like two more questions probably.
Okay.
Here's a good one. When should you not open a studio?
I think if you're opening a studio purely for the fact that you like want to be cool and like you feel like people are maybe telling you and you're not really 100% on it, but you feel like you need to,
Mm-hmm.
or I feel like those are only reasons like that you should not do it. If you're not in it 100%, don't do it because it's not going to work out for you. If you're not ready to put things on hold for you to like follow that, then don't do it.
Yeah. And how long? Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was just gonna ask, and what was the process like for you in order to put your studio together? Like, I'm sure it took an insane amount of time, blood, sweat, and tears.
And it was kind of a weirder instance for me because when I decided on getting a studio, I was actually living in Mexico. So I had to do everything like through email, have my mom go look.
That's crazy.
At these places, send pictures and videos. And then I think it's really good if you're going to open a studio to give yourself a date to like have a
deadline.
Yep. Yeah, because you can push it and push it and push it as far as you want.
Yeah.
But it's good to have a day that you're like, this is the date, this is when I need to have things done. So once I got home from Mexico, it was like I hit the ground running. I had it open in like 3 days because I had everything planned.
You're like not kidding. You're like Superwoman on steroids.
Because I'm like you. When I have an idea, I cannot sleep at night.
Yeah.
Like,
no,
absolutely. It needs to be done.
Yeah.
So, but I would recommend like for henna artists, if you want to open a studio, open a studio.
Yeah.
Do it.
Just do it.
Just try.
Do it.
I mean, I know it's not that easy, but I do feel like there's so many, share a space with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Find somebody else that's like, you know what, I want to try this 200 square foot space. Let's
Yeah.
do it together. Like,
Yeah.
you don't need it to be huge. You don't need it to be like the most beautiful thing you've ever seen, because you can make it your own.
Yep.
So
Amazing advice. I love that. Just like run with it and, you know, stick to your guns because you're going to regret it if you don't.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think with henna too is it's like you can get a lot of appointments if you want. If you're out there like trying to hustle in the summertime or whenever the peak season is for you. Like, I think with the studio, like, you're never not going to let it work out. Like,
Yeah.
if it's not working out, finish it, get done with your lease, and then move on to something else.
Yep.
But like, if you're in it for 6 months or a year, like, that's in the scheme of your life, that's not that long.
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
it's not that big of a commitment.
Yeah.
If it was 5 years, I would be like, oh, that's
Let's
a
think
little
about it.
yeah, but if you're in it for 6 months, like, that's only 6 months of your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So amazing. Well, I think here, let's see. One final question that I always ask henna artists is, do you have any advice or what would be the one advice that you would give to the newbie artists out there?
Okay, I would say keep going, because
Okay.
there was like probably 30 million times that I wanted to quit because I was so over the fact that I was not that good yet, and I was seeing all these other people who were amazing and I didn't measure up. But like, find what it is that you really love about it and don't forget that.
Amazing.
Like, if you really like these flowers you made, like, don't forget how happy that you feel when they're there and when you're doing it, like that feeling that you get, and like, don't let that go.
Yeah.
Because if you keep going, you're gonna fall in love with it. It's just, you're just gonna grow. Your art's gonna grow. The way you view it is you're just gonna be better. But you just have to really give yourself the opportunity to like become better by giving yourself time, being patient with yourself, and you just have to keep going.
All super sound and profound advice, and I agree literally with every single word.
Yay.
Like, just stop comparing yourself to other people. Your journey is your journey. I mean, no child has ever, you know, came out of the womb knowing how to speak. It takes time, and you just got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Gotta stick with it. Amazing.
Yeah.
So Maggie, how can people find you or get in touch with you?
So I'm on Instagram and my handle is @henna_by_Maggie. I have a website that's henna_by_Maggie.com, and I also have a Facebook page that's Henna by Maggie. Everything is Henna by Maggie. Very original.
You gotta keep it all integrated. That's amazing. So it's easy to remember. Yeah. Amazing. Well, Maggie, thank you so much. I cannot wait to.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh my God, it was such a pleasure.
Honored.
I'm so happy to have popped the cherry. Was it painful?
Horrible.
I can't wait to meet you. Maybe in your side of the world, maybe in a conference. Who knows?
Yeah, someday for sure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, Maggie. And
thank you.
For everyone who is watching the replay and you're watching all the way through, I just always have to acknowledge these people. You're awesome. And in case you can't catch the replay, this will be uploaded to the Facebook group. It's going to live there indefinitely. So just send me a DM if you want to join, and I will send you the link. Thanks so much, Maggie.
Thank you. Have a good day.